Hi everyone, I got some good news and an update from the last video that I posted, which was basically going over what you could expect for Q2 earnings for BlackBerry in terms of fiscal year 2025, which I highly encourage you to double check that video because I went through way more details in that video versus this video. This is just an update explaining why it's beneficial and provide a little bit additional more details, but that video should pop up right about here. Highly encourage you to watch that basically almost first and then this one after. And then I will be live streaming when they report the earnings on September 26th, 2024. At 5:30 p.m. Eastern time is the conference, but I stream a little bit before that where I go over if they had a profit or loss and then the numbers as well, if they beat earnings, street estimates, so on and so forth, and comparisons, etc., etc. So I highly encourage you to follow, subscribe if you want to be notified when I do live stream that. But the benefit of the update is the street estimates on Yahoo Finance was showing 191.97 million. I did check, like for example, like chat AI stuff, and they came around the ballpark of this same number, not exact but pretty close. But a viewer reached out, thank you so much, I appreciate it, by the way. I shared a screen capture of their paid services showing the actual one because they stated that this potentially most likely is Canadian currency versus American, and on their paid service it's showing 141.42 million, which checks out from the conversion for the most part around the same ballpark. And the guidance that the paid service is showing is 136 to 144 million that BlackBerry gave, which checks out because BlackBerry on Q1 earnings, which was reported last quarter, shows 136 to 144 million for Q2 forecast for fiscal year 2025. So the reason why this is beneficial, and if you remember from my last video, I stated that if the street estimates are so high, even if they have year-over-year beat and quarter-over-quarter beat, I don't expect them to beat street estimates. But if this is the case, and it's basically around mid-range of 136 to 144 million, then if they beat their estimates and have 145 million, then that's extremely beneficial because last quarter was 144 million, so they have quarter-over-quarter growth. And then last year's Q2 earnings, so I'm going to show it right about here, September 28, 2023, Q2 for fiscal year 2024 came in at 132 million. So at 145 million, they beat street estimates. They have beat quarter after quarter growth and year-over-year growth, which is amazing. Now, the next thing we have to look out for is in terms of their profit and loss reports. So in terms of Q2 last year, they reported about $40 million of losses, give or take. And then last Q1 earnings, so last quarter, they reported about, I believe it was $34 million of losses. So it's right about here, $34 million of losses. So if they could just reduce the losses and have anything essentially above $145 million of revenue. So 145 million and above, amazing, that's great. So they have year-over-year beat, quarter-over-quarter beat, plus beat street estimates. And then if they lower this lower their cost and end up having a profit, then that'd be great. But I'm not expecting profit this quarter personally, just because from what they stated, they're expecting to be cash flow positive by the end of fiscal year 2025. And some of the talks that they had in terms of conferences and presses and all stuff in terms of Investors Day, I believe they were indicating that potentially could be sooner. They're working on ASAP 2 as well, so we saw some of the talks too as well. So best case scenario is probably going to be the Q3 earnings that will be reported on pretty much end of December timeframe. So most likely this is going to be lowered, and hopefully it is. Hopefully, right? Nothing's guaranteed. By the way, I do own shares in the company, so please be mindful of that while you're watching this video. And I'm not a professional, so please do your own due diligence and research before buying, selling. This is just my opinion. So basically, hopefully this number gets lowered. Hopefully it does. And then by next quarter, hopefully they'll be profitable, but most likely it's going to be by Q4. And that's basically what we're looking for. So the reason why I'm saying this is beneficial is when the estimates were extremely high, the problem is hypothetically the run-up could be limited, but if the estimates are pretty much in the range of what BlackBerry gave, and personally I'm expecting a beat. So if they're beating and hit 145 million, that's great. That shows, again, like I stated, the whole entire trifecta, quarter-over-quarter, year-over-year beats, street estimates, that's perfect. And then lowering the cost, which they are doing, but hopefully they turn a profit or get close to it. And then the stock, I think, would get a nice bump by Q2 earnings when they report it. That's basically it for today's video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you found it beneficial, consider dropping a like. It does help with the channel, so thank you so much for that. And if you want to be notified when I do upload, airstream, or post my new videos, consider following, subscribing, so you be notified when I do. Thanks again for watching. Take care. God bless and peace.